Today, I'm going to show you one specific sleep sign that might be the hidden reason your blood pressure stays high after 60, even if you're doing everything else right. Many seniors feel like they are fighting a losing battle with their numbers, not realizing that what happens while they are unconscious is just as important as what they do during the day. It is common to feel uncertain when your morning readings are higher than your evening ones, but there is a biological rhythm your body is supposed to follow that might be broken. I have seen this exact pattern in thousands of patients who were frustrated by their lack of progress despite taking their medications religiously. I remember a woman named Evelyn, 71 years old, who came to see me because she was waking up every morning with a pounding headache and a systolic reading in the high 150s. She was terrified that she was on the verge of a stroke, and her previous doctor had simply told her she needed more pills without ever asking about the quality of her rest. The truth is, your doctor might have been telling you wrong information by ignoring the connection between your sleep signs and your arterial tension. Before we dive in, drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what your usual morning blood pressure numbers are, as I want to hear your experience. The first and most critical sleep sign is the failure of your blood pressure to dip at night, a condition known as being a non-dipper. This matters because your heart and blood vessels are designed to have a period of deep rest where your pressure drops by 10 to 20% compared to your daytime average. This supports steadier readings by allowing the smooth muscles in your arteries to recover from the stress of the day. Evelyn, the 71-year-old patient I mentioned, was a classic non-dipper who didn't realize that her body was staying in a state of high alert even while she was dreaming. She felt relatively calm during the day, but because her pressure stayed elevated throughout the night, her vessels never got the cool-down period they needed to stay flexible. Once we identified this sign, we adjusted her routine to focus on calming her nervous system before bed, and her morning headaches vanished along with her high readings. This is a common situation that many seniors face without even knowing it, as most people only check their pressure when they are awake and active. To determine if you are a non-dipper, you should look for signs like waking up feeling unrefreshed, having a dry mouth, or noticing that your highest readings of the day occur right after you get out of bed. Recent studies have revealed that for adults over 60, having blood pressure that stays flat or elevated at night is a stronger predictor of heart issues than daytime readings alone. You can do this at home by occasionally taking a reading right before you go to sleep and comparing it to your first reading in the morning. If the morning number is higher or nearly the same, your body isn't getting the vascular rest it requires. This supports steadier readings and helps you understand if your medication timing or evening habits need to be adjusted with your professional's guidance. Most older adults can try this safely by simply keeping a log for 3 days to see if their dip is happening as it should. Understanding your nocturnal dipping status is like checking the foundation of a house. If the foundation is under constant pressure, the rest of the structure will eventually show cracks. When you are a non-dipper, your heart is essentially working a double shift every single day, which leads to thickening of the heart muscle and stiffness in the arteries over time. This is easy on the joints to manage if you focus on your evening environment rather than just adding more physical exercise. Another helpful step is to ensure your bedroom is completely dark and cool, as light and heat can keep your nervous system on, preventing that natural dip. This supports steadier readings and gives your heart the 8 hours of repair time it deserves. 2. The second sign is frequent waking during the night, which causes repeated adrenaline surges that spike your pressure and prevent your arteries from relaxing. This matters because every time you wake up, your heart rate increases and your blood vessels constrict as your body prepares for activity, even if you only stay awake for a minute. Robert was a 68-year-old retired pilot who thought that waking up 4 or 5 times a night to use the bathroom or toss and turn was just a normal part of getting older. He didn't realize that these micro-awakenings were keeping his systolic pressure in the high 150s because his body was stuck in a cycle of stress and recovery all night long. He was eating well and walking daily, but his lack of continuous sleep was undoing all his hard work. Once we worked on a strategy to reduce his nighttime awakenings, his blood pressure dropped by 12 points in just 2 weeks. One more easy change is to limit your fluid intake 3 hours before bed to reduce the need for midnight bathroom trips, which is a major source of sleep fragmentation for seniors. When you wake up abruptly, your body releases a small burst of cortisol, which is the stress hormone that tells your blood pressure to rise. This is particularly problematic for adults over 60 whose vessels are already a bit less elastic than they used to be. By creating a continuous block of sleep, you are giving your vascular system a chance to reach its lowest, healthiest pressure points. This supports steadier readings and reduces that morning surge that many seniors find so alarming when they first wake up. Comment your age and how many times you usually wake up during the night so we can see how common this is in our community. You can do this at home by creating a sleep sanctuary where distractions are minimized and you follow a consistent schedule. If you find yourself lying awake for more than 20 minutes, do not stay in bed and worry, as the anxiety of being awake will only drive your pressure higher. Instead, get up, do one of the calm breathing exercises we've discussed in other videos, and only return to bed when you feel a wave of sleepiness. This prevents your brain from associating the bed with the stress of high blood pressure. This supports steadier readings and helps train your body to stay in that deep, restorative, dipping zone for longer periods. Most older adults can try this safely and will notice a difference in their morning fog and their cuff numbers within a few days of consistent practice. 3. The third sleep sign is having chronically cold feet at bedtime, which is often a signal that your circulation is struggling and your core blood pressure is remaining too high. This matters because your body needs to radiate heat through your hands and feet to lower its internal temperature, which is a prerequisite for the deep sleep that lowers blood pressure. Patricia was a 74-year-old woman who lived in a colder climate and always complained that her feet felt like ice when she climbed into bed. She didn't realize that this coldness was actually causing her blood vessels in her core to stay constricted to keep her organs warm, which kept her blood pressure elevated throughout the night. She was frustrated that her medication seemed less effective in the winter months, and she felt constantly on edge. I suggested she try a simple same-day lever, wearing loose, warm wool socks to bed and taking a warm foot bath 20 minutes before sleep. This simple change allowed her blood vessels in her feet to dilate, which acted like a relief valve for her entire circulatory system, letting her core temperature drop and her blood pressure follow suit. Within a few days, she was falling asleep faster, and her morning systolic numbers dropped from the 150s to the 130s. This is a common situation for seniors who may have slightly slower circulation or thinning skin that makes them more sensitive to the cold. By keeping your extremities warm, you are assisting your heart in its job of moving blood efficiently throughout the body. This supports steadier readings and is one of the easiest, most comfortable adjustments you can make to your nightly routine. There is no advanced science needed to understand that a warm body is a relaxed body, and a relaxed body has lower blood pressure. When your feet are warm, your brain receives a signal that the environment is safe and resources can be shifted away from survival mode and into repair mode. Another helpful step is to use a heating pad at the foot of the bed for 10 minutes before you get in, making sure it is turned off before you actually fall asleep. This is easy on the joints and provides an immediate sense of comfort that lowers your heart rate almost instantly. This supports steadier readings and helps you avoid that sudden chill that can wake you up in the middle of the night, causing a pressure spike. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video. This supports steadier readings and helps more seniors understand that small, practical changes can have a massive impact on their cardiovascular health. As we move forward, think about your own sleep signs. Do you wake up with a headache? Are your feet always cold? Do you feel like you've been running a marathon when you wake up in the morning? These are not just signs of aging. They are messages from your heart telling you that it needs more help during the night. By paying attention to these cues and making these simple, senior-friendly adjustments, you are taking a major step toward long-term vascular health. We want to make sure your sleep is a time of healing, not a time of hidden high pressure. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the sleep signs that keep your numbers high and the simple tricks you can use to bring them down for good. 4. The fourth sleep sign you should never ignore is waking up with a very dry mouth or a sore throat, which often indicates you have been mouth breathing throughout the night. This matters because breathing through your mouth instead of your nose can significantly lower the oxygen levels in your blood, causing your heart to pump faster and your blood pressure to rise as it tries to compensate for the lack of air. Arthur was a 75-year-old retired contractor who had a very strong morning surge in his blood pressure, with his numbers often jumping by 20 points the moment he stood up. He didn't think he had sleep apnea, but his wife mentioned that he often snored and woke up gasping for air in the middle of the night. He would wake up every morning feeling like he had been breathing through a desert, with a parched throat that took 2 glasses of water to soothe. This mouth breathing was keeping his body in a state of mild suffocation for 8 hours, preventing his pressure from ever reaching that healthy nighttime dip. Once we addressed this sign by focusing on nasal breathing techniques and a slight change in his sleeping position, his morning readings stabilized, and he stopped feeling that pounding sensation in his neck. This is a common situation for many seniors whose nasal passages may have become more narrow or who have lost muscle tone in their throat as they age. When you breathe through your nose, you produce more nitric oxide, which we know is a natural chemical that helps your blood vessels stay wide and flexible. Mouth breathing bypasses this natural medicine, leading to tighter vessels and higher readings. This supports steadier readings by ensuring your blood is always rich with oxygen and your heart doesn't have to work overtime while you are trying to rest. Also, click that subscribe button for more simple blood pressure tips. One more easy change is to try sleeping on your side rather than your back, as back sleeping often causes the tongue to fall back and block the airway, forcing you to open your mouth to breathe. You can use a long body pillow to help stay in a side-lying position throughout the night, which is easy on the joints and much better for your heart. Another helpful step is to use a simple saline nasal spray before bed to ensure your nose is clear, making it easier to keep your mouth closed. This is a very effective same-day lever that can improve your sleep quality and your blood pressure numbers in a single night. Most older adults can try this safely and will find that they wake up feeling much more refreshed and alert. This supports steadier readings by protecting your heart from the silent stress of poor nighttime oxygen. 5. The fifth sleep sign is a persistent, tired but wired feeling in the evening, which is often caused by exposure to blue light from televisions and tablets that tightens your arteries before you even go to bed. This matters because blue light suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it is time to cool down and lower its blood pressure for the night. Margaret was a 66-year-old woman who loved to catch up on the news and play games on her tablet right before turning out the lights. She noticed that she felt strangely restless, and her heart felt like it was thumping against her ribs as she tried to fall asleep. A recent study revealed that seniors who used electronic devices in the hour before bed had significantly higher nighttime blood pressure and more arterial stiffness than those who read paper books. Once Margaret replaced her tablet with a traditional book 30 minutes before bed, her wired feeling disappeared and her morning systolic numbers dropped by nearly 10 points. You can do this at home by creating a digital sunset at least 1 hour before you plan to sleep. This means turning off the television, putting away the phone, and dimming the lights in your living area to signal to your brain that the day is over. This supports steadier readings by allowing your natural hormones to take over the job of relaxing your vascular system. If you absolutely must use a screen, consider wearing blue light blocking glasses, but the best medicine is simply to step away from the technology. This is one of those long-term levers that builds vascular resilience over time, as it aligns your body with its natural circadian rhythm. Most older adults find that this quiet hour becomes their favorite part of the day, as it provides a peaceful transition into sleep. One more easy change is to step outside for a 10-minute sunset walk when the light is dimming. This exposure to the shifting colors of the sky helps set your internal clock, ensuring that your blood pressure starts its downward dip at the right time. This light activity also helps to clear any lingering adrenaline from your system, making it easier for your heart rate to slow down once you lie down. This is easy on the joints and provides a gentle way to end your day with intention. This supports steadier readings by harmonizing your internal biology with the world around you. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video. This supports steadier readings and helps prevent the lying numbers that come from a stressed and overtired nervous system. Regarding accurate home measurement, the timing of your first reading after waking up is the most critical piece of information you can gather about your sleep health. To get the truth, you should take your blood pressure about 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up, but before you have your coffee or breakfast. This morning window tells you if your body successfully dipped during the night, or if you are experiencing a dangerous morning surge. Always follow the rules we've discussed. Sit in a chair with back support, keep your feet flat, and rest for 5 minutes in silence before pressing the button. If your morning number is consistently 20 points higher than your evening number, it is a sign that one of these sleep issues, like mouth breathing or blue light exposure, is affecting your heart. By tracking these morning numbers alongside your sleep signs, you are creating a map that shows exactly how to improve your health. Long-term, focusing on magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds and spinach during your evening meal can also help relax the muscles in your arteries and improve your sleep quality. Consistency is the key to vascular health after 60, and your sleep is the foundation of that consistency. When you protect your sleep, you are protecting your heart, your brain, and your future. This supports steadier readings and gives you the confidence to know that you are doing everything in your power to stay healthy and vibrant. If you know someone over 50 who could benefit from this, share this video and subscribe for more simple blood pressure tips.